All right, everybody, welcome to worksheet 46. I'm going to kind of make this quick because if I had you today, R1, R2, or R4, you've already seen this. You're probably not watching this video anyway. R5 people, we will go over this tomorrow as well. So we will just jump right in. So we've got a few sentences with comparatives and superlatives. Reminder, two ways to say than after a comparative. One is to use the word quam. If you do use the word quam, then the two words that you're comparing need to be the same case. So for instance, if the subject of the sentence is being compared to something else, you're going to make that second thing nominative, right? The chair is larger than the book, right? So the chair is the subject, it's nominative, book would also be nominative. You could also, if you want to compare two things, skip quam altogether and make the second thing that you are comparing in the ablative case. No preposition, no extra words, just make it ablative. So in that example, the chair is larger than the book. I could either say quam liber or libro. Just make book ablative. Either one would work. And then if you put quam in front of a superlative, it intensifies the meaning. So instead of just being very tall, very, very tall, extremely tall, really tall, so on and so forth. Okay? So jumping right in, I think most classes we did the first one together, but just a reminder, he libri, these books are my subject. My verb is sunt. These books are, he libri sunt, these books are clariores. Claros can mean clear, it can also mean famous. These books are more famous than those. I'm adding in the than because right after my comparative, I have an ablative, right? That's that ablative of comparison from up here. These books are more famous than those. Number two is a little bit more involved because we start with matra in the ablative. Hodie is an adverb, just means today. Domum in the accusative case, and advenienta, we have an ablative participle. Okay, so this part of the sentence right here, from one ablative to, it's weird that that was so tiny. Let's try that again. From this ablative to this ablative is an ablative absolute. You don't need to put the brackets, but just to show that that is a sort of separate clause in a sense. So the way we translate ablative absolutes, we start with the noun, but before the noun, we start with the word with. With the mother, keep it nice and simple. Advenienta, it's an ing participle, so with the mother arriving, domum, home, and then hodie, today. With mother arriving home today, so that's my background information, then we get into our main sentence here. Liberi, not libri. We're not talking about books, we're talking about kiddos. Quam felicissimi sunt, the children, that's what liberi are. The children are quam felicissimi. They're not just felicissimi, they are quam felicissimi. They are very, very happy. Last step is to go back and take a look at that ablative absolute and see if we can do a little bit better than just with. With the mother arriving today, the children are very, very happy. I'm thinking there's a stronger connection between these two. Since the mother, since their mother, we can assume. And then we need a little helper in here, is arriving today. Since their mom is arriving home today, maybe even to say coming home today. Since their mom's coming home today, the kids are very, very happy. All right, moving right along here, number three, we start with an accusative, canem, that's a dog. Carus in Latin means dear or precious, so carior would be more dear, more precious. We tune in on the bus, never seen loyalty like this. I love it, absolutely love it. Mihi in the dative case. Maddie, it was good to see you today, by the way. That was really, that was cool. Quam here right after carior, so dearer to me than my son, and the whole sentence hinges on habeo, right? And we talked about in class how habeo can mean to have or to hold. It can also mean to consider. So I think in this case, since we're talking about the dog being more dear to me, I'm thinking I'm going to lean more towards consider. I consider the dog more dear to me than my son. Now, you could argue I have a dog that's more dear to me than my son. I am holding a dog that is more dear to me than my son. Those would work just fine because we're not in context here. So I consider the dog more dear to me. I have a dog that's more dear to me. I'm holding a dog. All of those would be good. He always, here in number 4, this is my subject, these birds. This is a preview of next week, right? This word qui. So as we said in class, it's who, or it's which, or it's that. Basically, I'm about to get some more information about those birds. So these birds, he always, oops, long marks. He always, they are my subject. These birds, we probably say which or that. We don't say who when we're talking about birds. Qui in Italia habitant. So these birds that live in Italy, which live in Italy, either one. These birds that live in Italy. So that's a little bit more information about the birds, right? Then we get into our main clause. Sunt quam celerimi. These birds that live in Italy are very, very fast, right? They will take the food right out of your hands. They are aggressive. So this part of the sentence here is what we call a relative clause. Essentially, it's a little extra, almost like a piece of a sentence, not a complete sentence. It can't stand by itself. Who live in Italy, which live in Italy is not a complete sentence. But when I hook it onto one of the words in the sentence, it kind of adds a little bit of extra information. So it's telling me more about the birds. The birds that live in Italy. The birds which live in Italy. These birds are very, very fast. My main sentence is that the birds are very fast. And our last sentence here, a little pronoun action for you. Tu celerior quam ego s. We don't often see s. We usually see est, but this is the you form. So you, tu, are faster, celerior, than, and we had a big debate about this in class, faster than, technically speaking. In English, you would say, you are faster than I. Why would you say faster than I? Because if you imagine you made this a complete sentence, you are faster than I am. You would not say you are faster than me am. Right? You are faster than I am because that's what quad means. That's a good 6-y word. Crura, a new noun for us. Crura tua longiora quam mea sunt. And then it's just nominatives all the way down. You are faster than I am because tua crura sunt longiora quam mea crura. We've left out a couple of those words, but you are faster than I am because your legs are longer, longiora, than my legs. Right? Or we could just say longer than mine. So kind of two-part sentence here. You've got the first part there, you are faster than I am. And then this conjunction here, quad, kind of connects the second part. You're faster than I am because your legs are longer than mine. That brings us to the charts. I chose all of the irregular ones just so we could practice a little bit. So the nouns are easy, cornu, cornus. So that is our fourth declension neuter pattern. So cornu, cornus, and then we jump right into the cornus. Cornu, cornu, cornu. Plural, cornua, cornuum, cornibus, cornibus, cornua, and cornibus. As I said, I chose all of the irregular comparatives and superlatives just so we could practice. So, Magnus, the comparative, is major. But cornu is neuter, so instead of using major, we're going to use maius. But don't throw the major away. Keep that in your mind, because when you go to decline this form, the genitive of maius is majoris, right? We're going to keep that eor. Then we're going to use our third declension endings. Majori, maius, again, because it's neuter, so nominative and accusative are the same. And then majora. Plural, majora, because it's neuter. Majorum, majoribus, majora, and majoribus. Oh, that's me moving around on there. Okay, you guys can see that. Smaller bow, arcus arcus, so another fourth declension noun, but this one is sort of the normal pattern, the masculine feminine pattern. Arcus arcus, arcui, arcum, and arcu. And the plural, arcus, arcuum, arcibus, arcus, and arcibus. Our adjective, we look to parvus, the comparative of parvus, another irregular one. Parvus becomes minor, like minor. Minor, minoris, minori, minorem, minora. Straight up, third declension endings. Minores, minorum, minoribus, minores, and minoribus. That looks pretty good. Two more. So now we have a fifth declension noun here, series. I know it's fifth declension because it's that ace e pattern. Series, seriei. Seriei in the dative. We've seen that ending before. Seriem looks like every other accusative. Seriae, vowel at the end for ablative singular. Plural of series is series. One series, many series. Serierum is kind of like orum, arum, arum. Seriebus. A lot of people are messing this up. They're kind of just doing like, they're doing serie and then ibus, right? It's seriebus, just the E. Series and seriebus, not seriebus, just seriebus. Malus, another irregular comparative. Malus means bad. Peor is worse. Peor, peoris, peori, peorem, and pejora, pejora. And for the plurals, peores, peorum, peoribus, peores, and peoribus. What do we got here? We got maggiore, minore, peggiore, and then we'll have our last one. Migliore. Last one, hand. Manus, manus, manui, manum, manu. And for the plurals, manus, manuum, manibus, manus, and manibus. Last one for the comparatives. Bonus, the comparative bonus, melior. M-E-L-I-O-R. Manus, melior. Melioris, meliori, meliorem, and meliore. Migliore in Italiano. And we have meliores, meliorum, melioribus, meliores, and melioribus. Is it mejor? I think it's mejor. It's the Spanish. Okay. Told you I was going to make it quick, right? Because most of you have seen this in class. R5, we will do this together tomorrow. If you're watching this on Thursday night, great, but we will have some class time tomorrow. Quiz going to be just like the last quiz. So noun adjective pairs plus some sentences. The difference is a lot more irregulars in the mix versus the last one, which only had one irregular. Okay? All right, kiddos, I'm going to sign off. If you need anything, shoot me an email, and hope you guys have a wonderful evening. See you when I see you.